Talk with Anele. I'm in New York on Trevor Noah's set on The Daily Show, and I'm interviewing the man himself. He's just released a book, Born a Crime. I read it. I loved it. I found, answers to questions that I never knew I had about you. Because I would have just asked you, be like, hey, so, your dad. And the one thing I took out of the book, reading about your dad, is that I feel like he taught you patience.
Yes, he did.
Besides the fact, when you finally found him after a few
Yeah.
years, you guys had been estranged, and then you found him and you went to go visit him in Cape Town, and you were firing all these questions at him, and he was like, whoa, Trevor, is this an interview?
But he taught more important than patience. He taught me efficiency. That's really what it is.
Okay.
So he taught me in and around, a lot of the time we do things
Yeah.
and we do everything. We don't even ask why we're doing it or how we're doing it or, we just do it.
Okay, that makes sense now.
And then he goes, what is the most efficient way to do it?
So
That's a
basically-
Swiss way of thinking, precision.
But when it comes to the relationship between you two,
Yes.
because now you were dying to catch up on all these
Yes.
years where you guys weren't speaking. Well, you didn't fight. You just
Yes.
fizzled out.
Yes.
Then you find him and you're spending a weekend with him, and because you feel like you've lost out, you're asking him all these questions, and he's like, "Is this an interview?" And then you were like, "Yeah, but I just want to get to know you." And then he said, "How do you get to know your friends?"
Yes,
And
you just talk and you
said
live with
by
them.
spending time with
Exactly.
them. So when you say efficiency, are you saying spending time with purpose?
Yes, basically, because if you think about it, if you're trying to get to know someone,
Yeah.
the most efficient way to do it is not to question them. Because if you're questioning them, they're answering you. If they're answering you based on your questions. If you merely exist with them, I find that
Okay.
the person will be, when they be, you will know who they are.
Okay. So that's a direct lesson.
Yes.
That-
That was like,
Yeah.
that's for me.
Looking at him and watching him, and without him, interacting with you and talking to you, what's an indirect lesson that you've learned just by watching your dad?
Wow, that's an interesting one. What's an indirect lesson that I've learned just by watching him?
Yeah.
He's content in himself. He's not doing it for other people. It's not Mr. Look at me. He's just doing it. Sometimes we get tricked into that. You do it for the people, you're not doing it for yourself. Like, who are you by yourself? When no one's there, when it's just you at home, when you look in the mirror, who do you see? Who do you want to be? And that's something that I learned from him. He's not doing it for anyone or anything. He is who he is because that's who he wants to be.
What's the nicest thing you've heard him say about your mom?
The nicest thing
Or,
is that, like, she could light up a room. Always. He was just like, is your mom, he'd always ask me, he'd go like, so your mom, is she still making the people happy, huh? She's still, she's still running, he always talked about her life, her energy.
like her zest and her
Yeah,
energy.
Yeah.
And what's the nicest thing you've heard your mom say about him?
He's great with money. That's like can I tell you something? That's the biggest gift my dad gave my mom and the family.
Okay.
He taught us the importance of money and how to manage money. Because we were living in a world where, unfortunately, it's the trap that a lot of black people fall into. We get money,
We don't have
first
to
thing we
keep
want to
it.
do is, where's the car? Where's the house? Where's the clothes? We never think of the tomorrow. We haven't had for long enough.
So in your book, you say your mom taught you how to talk to women. You'd walk into the house and then you wouldn't look at her in the eyes like, yeah, hi, mom, bye, mom. And she's like, Trevor, look at me in the eyes
Yes.
and talk to me, because one day you're going to live with a woman and you need to be able to look her in the eyes and talk to her and tell her how you feel.
Yes.
And tell her that you love
You
her.
have to see her. You have to see her. Men and women communicate very differently. Very differently. For guys, we value different things than what women value most of the time. So for guys, like a guy will go, like people get into fights and be like, we haven't spent any time together. Then the guy will be like, we spent the whole weekend together. Then the woman goes, no, but that wasn't quality time. You were on your phone, your friends were here the other day.
You were playing TV
we
games.
went there, you were playing on PlayStation, you were watching soccer, you were doing this. Then it's like, but we had a bride together. Yeah, but that was with everyone. Your woman will appreciate it more if you spend 1 hour with her in a day where you just look her in the eyes, nowhere else, just in the eyes, the whole time. Tell me, baby, tell me everything. How was your day? Don't look at your phone, don't look, just 1 hour every day. Your woman will appreciate that more than spending a whole day with her doing this, that, talking. and then my mom taught me these things. She was like, you know, communicate differently. A woman and a man don't use the same languages of love in the same way. So you learn these things. My mom had to raise me, you know, to be a man.
Exactly. And I mean, she was a single mom raising you to be a
Exactly.
man, so she had to, you know,
Yes.
practice the tough love on you. So I don't think she is, but I have to ask this. Is she like asking you when the grandkids are coming? And oh, really?
Yeah, of course.
You never speak about that.
Of course.
So that is she like?
course.
Just I don't care if you get married. Just bring me a kid
My
now.
mom is like, where is he? Where is the child?
Huh?
And what was funny is my whole life, my mom was like, if you get a girl pregnant,
You leave this house.
this house, you're not coming in. My mom used to say, I'll take the child and you'll go.
Oh wow.
You'll swap rooms. That'll be my child and then you'll go find your way in the world. I need to, you're a man now.
Yeah.
So go and be a man. So I was like, my whole life I was like, yo, okay, make sure, Trevor, make sure. No
Wrap it up,
mistakes,
no mistakes.
no mistakes, safety first, no mistakes. And then now my mom is like, and then?
She's out there pricking
Yeah,
your condoms.
Mama-
Like, I will get
My
a
mom is
grandson.
there, sending me those government condoms.
Stapled.
Those stapled ones. Sending me stapled condoms.
So when are you? When are you?
Getting a child.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not like I'm trying.
So you're not
I
currently
don't
trying.
understand why everyone just wants children.
Because my son needs a playmate.
Oh, so this is for you.
It's gonna be a long commute though.
This is now I must.
It's like, hey mom,
wow.
I'm going to Uncle Trevor's house. I'm just gonna take this 19-hour flight.
Wow, no, that's the thing. Sometimes I wonder why people have kids. I'm like, so we're just making them, Vel. We're just all gonna make them. Why?
Because you need to
But
leave
there's no
something
space.
behind.
Yeah, you leave something behind. Build a house.
You live in New York. You know how to live with no space. Okay? Don't come here and say there's no space.
No, but there's no space though. Like sometimes I wonder. I go like, maybe I'll have a kid. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll adopt. Maybe because I'm like, there's so many people. So you really want to make more.
No, man. Trevor, reading your book and the way your mom described having you, that she wanted something that was her own,
Yes.
you have to want a little bit of that.
Yeah, well, sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I go, yo, it would be cool. You know, and you're like, little man, I'll have a little version of myself. Then I see that. Then I see a kid
Yeah.
at the shops with their mom. Then I'm like, I don't want those things. Those things, I don't want them.
You'll change your mind.